We have a triumph today from Stirling Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for being here and finding our little barbershop. And if you would like to join the Whiff Pack, why, come on in the live chat. They're a group of friends from all over the world hanging out, and they would love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we are walking you through the razors we have in our den. And today's razor to show you is the leaf razor that I got from Jason at the Razor Company. They found out that I didn't have my own and that we were sharing.
Yeah, the Henson back in the old days.
And Jason decided to send this out, and the color, this prism thing is so up my alley. I don't know how they know, but this one has a pivoting head. It also has 3 single edge blades in there, and there's a little magnet thing here and then a little twister guy that holds it on. So for us gals that are jumping into the wet shaving world, it's kind of nice to have one that really works for us. Also, if you're a head shaver, I've heard that this is a good one because of all the pivoting going over your round dome there.
And you don't have to load in all 3 blades. If you want to load in just one, great. 2 for a little bit more of an aggressive shave, and 3 if you don't want hair anywhere. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is Triumph, a fun homage that they just dropped over at Stirling Soap.
They have been doing awesome stuff over there, y'all, bringing back Stirling Spice, Stirling Club. Man, there's even an Irish Moose label we have seen floating around on the Facebook fan page. Y'all, let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, pack a lunch and get comfortable. Here is the sales page from Stirling Soap Company.
A manly scent of sea notes, citrus, bay, and a touch of complementary floral notes. It's an homage that's inspired by Paco Rabanne's Invictus.
Well, y'all, there you go. Short and sweet, but we don't have anything by Paco Rabanne yet in the den. I don't even know if I know anything about this artist.
No, but I kind of feel like from those scent notes, it's a good spring, almost summer kind of a scent, maybe.
Right, and maybe some aquatics hiding in there, but we'll know when we take it out of the box.
We got 2 more left in our box here.
This is the box that brought us the EDP of sweet stuff that you might have seen in our episode last week. And let's see, there are 2 in here. You did not see Hipster. We are very curious because we just shot SoCal Hipster from A&E. I wonder if this might be more of a NoCal
We'll let
Hipster,
you know.
but we will find out later. And this is Triumph. This is what you have come to see. And here is the matching splash. Hold on to that for me. Oh, and let's see, here's an invoice. Is there a note?
Oh,
There's a note, y'all, and it says, thank you for your order. I hope you enjoy from Shay. Thank you, Shay.
thanks, Shay.
And I have stopped getting menthol in the splashes of the homages so that we can have a little bit more of a genuine snootful when we take these in. But there you go, y'all, you're perfect friends. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a triumphant first impression. If you don't mind, I'm
No,
going
I
to take
kind of
this in
insist. I'm
first and
curious.
see how this goes.
I'm assuming it's more of a manly men's cologne scent, so it should be up your alley.
We'll find out. All right, Paco, take me away. Here we go. Oh, I see. Wow, you can really track colognes in this world by decades, or especially even year to year. I can almost tell you when this came out, but it's got its own character. This is lovely. Hold on, because where I thought I was going, there is a curtain there, and you see the curtain first, and then as soon as your whiff gets to like second number 2, the curtain opens, and there's a whole nother show going on. Whoa, okay, hold on a second. Ooh, okay. I don't know how better to say this, but this opens with a very rose stemmy sort of green aquatic. And just about the time you feel the wind hit your sails, something shifts and you get the sense of being back on land in a little bit of a wooded forest with some fog rolling in over you. And it all stays on the lighter side. The shadows that I'm sensing being cast by the trees and the little grove I'm inventing do not get too dark. We are still standing there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What a beautiful set this is. Hold on. And the magic is where they're coming together. This is surf and turf. Y'all, what a beautiful sense of that floral, citrusy aquatic and the beautiful spiciness that's creating those shadows between the trees. Doesn't go any darker than 3 o'clock p.m. It just gives me a beautiful sense of being in that forest where a second ago I was out at sea, and where these are coming together is a beautiful sense of fog over all of it. So the fog is what's bringing me from out there on the breakers to in here amongst the redwoods. There's beautiful movement in this, y'all, and none of it gets very dark at all. There is nothing below the equator in this. Lovely.
Does it seem like it's supposed to be more of like a springtime scent, or like is it more an all year scent, do you think?
I don't know. I get a cold wintry vibe from it, only because the spices are not your warmer ones. It's not your saffrons kind of thing. I get more of those bracing citruses from aquatics that are then sort of melding seamlessly into woods without letting them get dark. There's nothing like woody or patchouli or like sandalwoody in this. No, it all really stays in the aquatic lanes, but really pushes those envelopes well. I love this.
Okay. Does it go into the Marcus Clean
No.
type of scent? No, more cologne.
And here's why. It doesn't go into the soapy part of things. It doesn't have those like scent notes that denote a bubble bath. They're very strong in their characters, but they're very light in kind of how they're coming together. So like noises off, not to kill a mockingbird. Something in the very center that owes a little bit of a tip of the hat to Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce or D503 Lightish Red from Stirling, but then where it goes off in the other two directions, branching off from that center note, are very different. And again, one goes out into Santa Monica Bay and the other goes up to Lake Arrowhead. And there's a cleverness in this that I don't find in Lightish Red, that I don't find in Legend D503. This has a little bit more complexity in its balance, and I'm really enjoying finding that. Let's see what you
I was just going to ask if I could have a turn, so you must have heard me.
I need your help.
I'm curious because when you read those scent notes, it doesn't throw in your face that it seems like it's going to be a cologne right away.
No.
Like it's just a little tester of kind of a lane it might be in.
Right.
But then as you're explaining it, I'm a little more into that cologne vibe.
Yep.
Still fresh and clean and those kind of things, but I'm ready to get my whiff around here. Oh, it's very nice.
I know.
I really agree with the color blue they gave. Like, that does really hit well for me.
Yeah.
I thought, from what you were explaining, I thought I had a little bit more of some of the polo kind of homages in there.
Yeah, no, it doesn't go there for me.
Oh, yeah, I really do get a little bit of a throwback. So I wonder if I had smelled this before, but I had no idea that that's what I was smelling.
Right.
It makes sense now that the center of this has... There's not a blueberry in here, but if you could have the most masculine blueberry, you think? Yes, I feel like there's something in the middle that's like...
clever sweetness is sitting in the middle.
Not gourmand, but like how you could turn it into a perfume.
Yes.
Somehow that's in here.
The sweetness has a character to it.
Yeah.
And for me, not a bossy scent, but hold on a second. No. It's a wingman with attitude, though.
Yes, but not an in-your-face kind of thing.
No, in a very gentle way.
Just like when someone's energy fills up the room, like they're a fun character.
Right.
Like, I get that.
Someone that'll make you do what he wants, but make you think it was your idea.
I do get the sea salt kind of a hint at the beginning.
Yes.
But it's not quite aquatic. It's approaching that line.
Well, that was going to be my next question. How do you sense the aquatics first? And then we'll move into the woods.
So I think there's some sort of a citrus, but then it turns blue, which is where I got the blueberry, which normally that would take me more to an actual aquatic. But somehow it catches the brakes right before I get full-blown aquatic. I do get more of that cool fogginess in the air. It doesn't quite go like summer vibrancy colors, but it has those qualities throughout the full whiff. Yes. They don't really go away.
And do you get that Marcus green rose stem sense in the middle of the aquatic?
You know, it's there, but I wouldn't know until you said that. It's kind of like a secret in the background. It's there. I get more the woods, the lighter color woods, not darker, like you said. They're just more of a gentle, clean side.
There's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel that might want in the barbershop.
I can see how people would have this as like their scent, though. Like, I don't feel like there is a specific season to it. Like, I feel like if you just had to be, this is my dress up, go have a fun night kind of scent, this would be the go-to one for that.
There's a youthfulness to this, too, that I think is why my brain immediately wanted to know, when did this first come out? Because I'm kind of putting this exactly around 2010, 2012.
I'm with you.
Somewhere in there, but actually, let's find out. Hold on a second. July 2013. Okay. You're welcome. But that was not a party trick, y'all. That's just us reading a bunch of different homages and the years they came out. You can definitely track these scents through the decades.
And I gotta say, 10 years later, getting a whiff of this, there's still something super valid about this scent.
And even beautifully bubblegummy
Yeah.
in the middle. I know my nose has been going bubblegums lately, but there is something charming about it.
I went blueberries, so I don't know.
Well, blue and pink, I mean, that's kind of the
Yeah.
colors that this lights up, kind of those synthwave, bright turquoise and
Yeah.
magenta colors, right? That's where this is
It's
taking
not
me.
90s anymore, but there's still something fun that you're willing to have.
Like the original Shave Arcade logo, but I like the new one too. And I'm going to build a lather here, and this Stirling base has just become an old friend like LeVar Burton and Mr. Rogers. This is Haley's Artisan Bowl that Sarah has, and this reminds me of something that a fortune teller would put a crystal ball on top of. I love this thing. It was 3D printed, but you really can't tell. These 3D printers are coming a long way. And then this is our Smaldridge Memorial Bougie Sprayer. I believe this came from Garrett at the Shave Supply, also in California. But this is your Paul Trotter brush. Speaking of incredible gifts from the Smaldridge family, this is the patina colorway, and
We are
y'all,
still floored by this.
Paul does incredible work. I'm just going to go forwards. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to push down to get a little bit of backbone going on this synthetic brush. And then you'll notice, well, most of the soap is still staying there in the middle of the bowl. Marcus, what do I do now? Well, don't go for the water yet. Rotate the brush 25% because those bristles are now going to have a brand new orientation to come at that soap. And look at that. A bunch more of the soap is now gone. Well, what do I do now? Turn the brush again. Now, watch this. The rest of that soap is going to disappear up onto those bristles, just about all of it. Look at that. And it's hiding amongst the trees. And then I'm going to go down, grab the rest of that water, and then, woo, y'all, I can tell your fortune right now. You're going to have a great shave in your future. And your bike's in the basement of the Alamo. Oh, some of that Blue de Chanel kind of stuff
but
is
not
coming
as
out
dark.
now. No,
Not as
very
dark.
different in the middle. Right.
That goes to like a darker blue, darker green side. This is
Right.
the brighter, almost more flirtier side, maybe.
Yes. And if you're good, you will know exactly how much water to put in from the very beginning. I'm not that good yet. We never thought she'd end up our third co-star on this show, but whenever she hears our clapperboard go off, click that thing that connects the video and the audio, she comes running.
But I think because she's deaf, she just has to be with her people
Right.
as a happy girl. If she knows we can't leave without her, then she sleeps hard. So
And her name is Elaine Stritch. I think when
Yep.
she sees the lights and the cameras, come on, why?
And she doesn't need any pants either.
No, never wears pants. Like Elaine. Yeah, y'all, the whiff pack around here at the Barbershop Duet owes a debt of gratitude to Elaine Stritch. She never wore pants. Did that whole show at Liberty in her underwear. Look it up. I mean, she had a silk blouse on. It was her rehearsal clothes.
Yeah.
Silk blouse, pearls, character shoes, tights, underpants.
Yeah.
Places, please. Do people just hang out backstage in their underwear? Well, they don't not, but those are usually the kind of the weird ones. And y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is the triumphant whiff on 3. 1, 2. Whoa. Okay. I haven't smelled an homage yet that I keep getting newer and newer stuff from than this one. Every time I smell it, I go deeper, I go wider, I get new stuff. What are you getting now?
And you say this a lot, but there's nothing in here that's pokey.
Oh, no.
I don't know how that happens, but like some of the cologne stuff, you can see where certain scent notes are meant to be the louder ones in the
Right.
blend. And in here, no one's too bossy. They are all friends in the tub.
And sometimes when soaps go super deep, they can't help but have some pokey edges, but not here. This goes super deep, but I'm not being poked anywhere. And y'all, when we do watch our Deacon shaves, we love to see how that lather coats Eugene's face. And while we don't do shaving around here, I will show you how this Stirling formula
Look at that.
goes on and why it's so beloved. Now, you don't usually lather your moneymaker, but you do enjoy the whisk that you get. Let's see what happens
do.
when you put some of this on.
There is something about being able to put it on my face, even if it's just for the show. That's kind of fun.
Oh, I get a little bit of a sense of warm sand
Yeah.
in here. It is pretty cool in its spices, but there is maybe one little burst of flame in the middle of this.
There's just something in this that I can't help but smile. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be a good time.
Right.
You know, like it just has good memories attached to it
Right.
somehow. Something fun, something adventurous, but just enjoying yourself.
Yeah. And this is the kind of scent that if your job is a little bit more on the pencil pushing side of things, like mine used to be as an accountant, this is that little burst of excitement that you'd want to bring into your day. You don't want to smell like a library when you're surrounded by accounting books all day. You want to smell like you're out on a sand and sea adventure, and then maybe a little bonfire in the woods to round out the evening.
I also feel like you could be in a tux with this. Like, there's just parts in
yes.
this you could dress up, you
100%.
could dress down. It's very versatile.
Totally get married in this. And if you are a fan of Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce or Legend by Mont Blanc, I feel like this is right in that mix with sort of the best characters of both.
Right? Like if we had to put this on a crowd-pleasing scale,
Oh,
I feel like
interesting.
it would really encompass a lot of ages, don't you think?
Yes, right.
Like I'd put this more as like a 7.5. Like
Yeah.
it's more on that upper side.
I think you'd have to be super old and cranky before you didn't like this. Like, get off my lawn, cranky. And there were but a few, but let's revisit these scent notes. From the Fragrantica website, here are the scent notes for the original Invictus.
Top notes are C notes, grapefruit, and mandarin. So on Stirling it said citrus, but that helps.
There's those citruses.
Yeah.
And I think what's lovely is you've got a very grown-up grapefruit next to a very young sort of candied mandarin orange, and they're playing together a little tug-of-war game.
Right.
Middle notes of...
Bay leaf and jasmine. I knew there was a white floral. I just didn't know which one.
Is this a little bit of a bay rum? Could it be?
Maybe.
What do you get? Let's take a
But
little
it's
whip.
not a darker bay.
No, I don't think it's a bay rum. I don't get it that
No,
much.
but I think it
do see
connects
why
to the
it's there.
C notes.
Yes, and it's a
Something
little
in
bit
that.
of those streaks of sunlight that I'm getting with the bay, but there's not enough spice to make it a bay rum.
Right. And you said there was a little bit of a green to it, so maybe
Yeah,
kind of the fresher
that's
leaf.
what it's doing.
Base notes are ambergris, guaiac wood,
There we
oak
go.
moss, and patchouli. Those two, the ambergris and the guaiac wood, are very much more that cologne level length.
Yes, and let's be clear. The guaiac wood is the Sinatra here. The oak moss and the patchouli are just sort of the opening acts. Nobody's going to remember that they're there. Well, no, because those can be a little bit pokey. And for me, sometimes when I see oak moss and patchouli, I think kind of Glastonbury, Varand, as long as we're staying in the Stirling lane. And while those are absolute bangers, I have to be in a very particular needing an outdoor music festival mood to put those on, because the patchouli and the oak moss stay so prominently on my face. It's the opposite here. It's just the total lighter, clean versions of the patchouli and the oak moss, and in such a small amount in the balance that they ground it, they base it, and then they let you explore the lights.
It's interesting because they even write in the categories, like they list them on this page, and it calls it a woody aquatic.
Right.
So I wonder if when we get to the splash, without the base in there, if we're going to get more of like the aquatic-y side, that we're not fully jumping in yet. It's hinting at it, but I don't feel like it's a full aquatic just yet.
Well, traditionally on this show, we put on the splash when we go deeper. You want to do that now?
I think so.
Here we go. And here's an interesting thing that happened. One time when I took this plastic thing off, I didn't get all of this off here down below. For some reason, it pulled a little bit of the splash from under the cap, and it almost felt like it was leaking. And then I took it all off, I wiped it down, and the bottle's been perfect ever since. So I'm not sure entirely why, but get
don't
all
leave
of
the plastic,
Yeah,
yeah.
get all the plastic off your splash.
And these are back to the original lids, don't you
You're
think?
right. For
They've
a
stayed.
while, the lids got kind of half size,
With
but
the double lip thing.
These are the OG lids, which we actually like a little bit better.
And this is a very clear aftershave.
Right.
Sometimes there's a color to it. This is like see-through.
Oh,
Oh, different things?
Mandarin.
And interesting, because you're not much of a grapefruit guy, but
Nope.
the zesty brightness in
I don't
here
get
is
it, right?
brilliant.
I get the Mandarin. The grapefruit is just the plate that it's sitting on. This is lovely.
Oh, I spilled on the dog.
All of the aquatics of Bleu de Chanel, and then it brings you back on land.
She
for a
woke
little
up.
Redwood Grove adventure. Of course
Smells
she did.
good.
This is delightful.
I still get that blue part. I don't know what, there's no blueberry, nothing listed, but there's something in the aquatic-y almost thing that's throwing that in there.
I get a little bit of a mint in the middle of where that citrus and wood are coming together. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, do you get a little bit of Bleu de Chanel in this?
Yeah, but it's almost like the summer version. It's something's different. Where Bleu de Chanel gets more blatantly aquatic and more blue and more green, like depth. This one still stays like it's almost like a fresh breeze going by. Like there's just something fun in there. Like I feel like I'm vacationing to a new coastal area. Something is happening. I have to say that this is for sure a cologne, and it's definitely meant for men. But if you were to put this on the masculine to feminine scale, like I could kind of wear this. It's not too far. It's just a little, but there's sides to this that on me, I think more the floral, the C notes, the other stuff comes out. Where on you, I get more the masculine side, just getting the whiffs.
Right.
So in 2013, I feel like that was a big thing that people are trying to really like play that unisex line so that it was technically masculine-ish, but it had the more fun kind of side that's in this.
Yep, and when it comes to unisex fragrances, Calvin Klein was kind of the groundbreaker in those ways, and things like B and CK1 at first started simple. Can we find a citrus? Can we find a spice that would be right down the middle? But as the decades progressed, and as 1.5 of them went by, you ended up getting a little bit more experimental in what could be right down the middle. And that's where this whole crop of scents came from. And I think this is where it kind of peaked, because everything now that's unisex has throwbacks to exactly what we're experiencing now.
Smell after the dry down, the woodsy. I'm getting that guaiac wood in a very cool new way.
Yeah, yep. And for me, that's the lion tamer that's taming the patchouli, that's taming the oak moss.
But I still would say that it's the fun guy at the party. Like, you know, when there's that awkward silence in the room and not everyone knows each other, somebody always does or tries to say something to help bring everyone into a cohesive conversation or to include everyone. I feel like that smells like this guy.
Yeah. It's not the guitar player at the party. He wears curve. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be Elaine Stritch, thinking that she can make a living and find some fame in New York City as a Broadway understudy. Well, there's only one problem. The woman that she understudied for decades was Ethel Merman, Broadway's own Invictus. Because when it came time to taking a night off for illness, injury, or a lost voice, it never happened, and Elaine got her own. Head over to stirlingsoap.com, where you can find this and a wide range of other products. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Triumph. A Triumph indeed. Beautiful, spicy, woody, with heights that it hits that lets you know this is a refined and balanced EDP. But underneath is a beautiful, friendly, soapy, jovial, familiar character that I'm going to enjoy in my shave cabinet. Thank you, Rod and Mandy, for this. Welcome to Messages.
So for our March giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to McDuff Soap Company.
It's in Canadian dollars, y'all. How fun is that? And all you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways. And then check back here on our first April episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
Would you wear this on a day of triumph?
I don't know. I think I would definitely want to smell it on you, but there is something triumphant in the whiff. Like, you just feel like you're not worried about anything. You've conquered whatever you needed to get done for that day. You can go enjoy yourself. It's somehow in the scent. I get the name.
Graduations, award shows, and you don't want to feel defeated. This might be a friend to have on your shoulder.
Right? So the name really does fit, and that makes me even more curious now on Hipster, because if Hipster kind of has that vibe, very different person I'm thinking than Triumph.
Indeed, and I was just talking to Rob the other day. He said he would love to come on and do another live with us soon on Instagram, which we will then port over here onto YouTube. We're going to do a deep dive into these dupes, y'all. How does he select his oils? Where does he select his oils? If we ask him about trade secrets, he can totally tell us so. But y'all, we are going to find out some cool stuff about where some of our favorite scents come from and the folks who make them over in Paris, Arkansas.
Yeah, so don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.